The moment the door closes, you become a completely different person. Not a worse person, not a better person, just a person who is finally, deeply, catastrophically free. And you have absolutely no idea how weird you get. It starts the second you hear that click. The latch catches. Footsteps fade down the hallway. You stand very still for a moment, listening, making absolutely sure they're gone. And then something ancient stirs inside you. You exhale in a way you never exhale around other humans. It's not a normal breath. It's a full body release. Like you've been slightly performing for the past several hours, and your body just remembered it doesn't have to anymore. You didn't even realize you were performing. But the exhale tells the truth. And then, almost immediately, you do something strange. You start narrating your own life out loud. Not to anyone. Not into a phone. Just to the empty room. Okay, you say? To nobody. About nothing in particular. And then you walk to the kitchen with the energy of someone who has a plan, even though you have absolutely no plan whatsoever. Here's the thing about being home alone. You immediately start behaving like the main character of a film nobody is watching. A very low-budget film, with an extremely strange script. Within 4 minutes of everyone leaving, you are doing something you would deny under oath. Maybe you're doing a little shuffle walk through the hallway. Just a small one. Your feet barely leaving the floor. You would describe it as walking, but a security camera would describe it as dancing. Maybe you've started talking to the household objects. Not full conversations. Just small acknowledgments. You pick up a mug and say, there you are, like it's been missing. You tell the couch, okay, just for a minute, before sitting down in a way you know is going to be longer than a minute. Maybe you've already gone to the fridge. Not because you're hungry. You're not hungry. You just need to look at it. To survey the inventory. To open it, stare directly at the exact same food that was there 20 minutes ago, nod slightly, and close it again. That's a ritual. You perform it every single time. The fridge knows this. The fridge has nothing new to offer you, and you go to check anyway. Approximately 17 times per solo afternoon. But here's where it gets genuinely unhinged. The singing starts. Not casual humming. Full performance mode. You are not in the kitchen making pasta. You are in a sold-out arena telling a story through music. The wooden spoon becomes a microphone. The counter becomes the edge of the stage. You sing with a level of emotional commitment that your actual life does not require. And the really strange part? You're good. Or at least, you feel good. You feel like you've been hiding this the whole time. Like if the right person had just heard you right now. In this kitchen, with this colander, everything would be different. Then a car passes outside, and you stop immediately. Dead silent. You don't even move. You stand completely still until the sound fades, even though you're inside, behind a closed door, and that car almost certainly contains strangers who had no idea you exist. Your body did that automatically. The same way it does when someone almost catches you doing something embarrassing, even though you were completely alone and technically doing nothing wrong. The social instinct is so hardwired that it fires when nobody is there to trigger it. And this is where your home alone experience starts getting philosophically complicated. Because you are completely free. Nobody is watching. Nobody cares. And yet you still have an audience. You are performing for yourself. You are the main character and the viewer simultaneously, and somehow this doesn't feel strange at all. It feels completely natural. Which is how you end up doing the walk. You know the walk. It's a very specific movement pattern that only happens when you're alone. It's part shuffle, part strut, partly a full-body expression of a mood you can't quite name. You do it going from the kitchen to the living room. You do it going from one room to another for absolutely no reason. You sometimes do a full loop of the apartment with no destination, just moving through the space like you're inspecting something important. You own this place differently when no one is watching. You sit differently. You sprawl. You put your legs places that would require an explanation if someone walked in. You eat over the sink. You eat on the floor. You eat standing up at the counter staring into the middle distance like a philosopher who is also snacking. You make sounds. Low, satisfied sounds. Thinking out loud sounds. The occasional addressed to nobody. The inexplicable click of your tongue that means something only to you. You have entire thought sequences that you narrate in your head using a documentary voice. A calm, serious documentary voice, observing your own life with great scientific interest. You watch yourself get up to get water and think. And so, once again, the human must hydrate. Why does the documentary voice appear? Nobody taught you that. It just arrived one day, and now it's permanent. And speaking of permanent, the mirror thing. Every single person who has ever been home alone has walked past a mirror and stopped. Just for a second. Just to check. Not for vanity. Not really. It's more of a systems check. You look at yourself the way you'd look at a car dashboard. Making sure all the lights are on. Ensuring you are, in fact, still there. Sometimes you hold eye contact with yourself a little longer than expected. Sometimes you make a face, just to see what it looks like. Sometimes it's a confident face. Sometimes it's a concerned face. Sometimes it's a deeply dramatic face that belongs in a film that will never exist. You do this completely seriously, and then you walk away like it didn't happen. Here's the part that nobody talks about. Being home alone doesn't just change what you do. It changes your relationship with time. Suddenly an afternoon stretches out like an enormous, luxurious, slightly formless thing. You have all the freedom in the world. You could do anything. So naturally, you spend 45 minutes doing absolutely nothing in a very elaborate way. You sit down with a plan. A real plan. You were going to do things. Important things. Productive things. Instead, you end up in a half-reclined position watching a video about something you have zero interest in, but the algorithm placed it there, and you have somehow watched 43 minutes of it without ever deciding to start. And then you hear it. The sound. A car outside, slowing down. Footsteps on the path. A key in the lock. And something extraordinary happens. In the space of approximately 11 seconds, you are a completely different person. You sit up. You close 11 tabs. You move to a position that suggests productivity. Your face rearranges itself into the expression of a human being who has been reasonably occupied with normal tasks. The door opens. Hey, how was it? Fine. Everything was fine. You were just here, doing regular things. Being a normal person in a house. Nobody asks follow-up questions. Nobody knows about the singing. Nobody knows about the fridge visits. Nobody knows about the mirror. Nobody knows about the documentary voice, or the shuffle walk, or the deeply committed solo dance performance that happened in the kitchen at approximately 2:47 p.m. And that's the thing. Everyone has a home alone version of themselves. Everyone does the weird walk, sings to the empty room, checks the fridge out of pure reflex, and freezes when a car goes past. Everyone is, when the door closes and the footsteps fade, approximately 40% stranger than they appear in public. You have been doing this your whole life. You will do it until the end of your days. And the next time you hear that door click shut, that exhale will come. The shuffle will begin. The fridge will be visited for no reason. And somewhere across the world, millions of other people will do the exact same thing. Each one completely convinced they are the only one.